Okay, so has the current record high pricing of food has it affected anybody out there listening to this broadcast? Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on the Save Money and More with Jan channel. This is my second take. The first take came out perfectly, but thanks to a technicality beyond my control, it just kept chopping up and it was going in and out in my audio. So I said, you know what? Put your trusty old headset back on and see if it helps with some noise cancellation. That is not your problem, but I'm just explaining. How you doing? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I want to share with you some real life things in terms of groceries which has affected me. So I said, you know what? I am so blessed. We are so blessed that we live in a time where we can literally with a touch of a button check out prices without even leaving your house before you even go to the actual store yourself in case you go directly to the store and get a look see in advance as to what is going on. So I did a little bit of a price comparison for myself, been keeping an eye out on certain things. So let's see. And definitely egg prices are up. When I hear that some people could pay 2.50 or $2 for eggs, it just like makes me want to cry. I'm happy for you, but that is not the case for a lot of people. I'm just saying. So in my vicinity, it's in the $3.59 range for a dozen. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh well, that's just the way it is. If a person chooses to stay in that type of a location, then they have to pay the higher price that goes with it. But it is beyond that. There are other issues going on with the supply chain of eggs. Okay, so let's see what's going on with that and keep an eye on it. I do notice, however, that during the month of October and particularly the end of the month of October. Um, Lots of times I can't find eggs. This is every year because a lot of people use them for baking or holiday cookies, pre-making them or whatever, and it's just kind of harder. That's just something that I have noticed. I don't know about your location. Let's talk for a minute about the cost of butter. All right. In my vicinity, I noticed that the price of butter, even within 1 week, excuse that technical sound, even within 1 week has gone up $1. Now, people might say, oh, big deal, what's a dollar? Excuse me? Let's say that I would prefer to buy a few tubs of butter or sticks, whatever, and it went up a dollar. That's $5 more. Yeah, so it does mean something. I'm just saying, so that may mean that, oh, well, can't purchase the five, maybe have to reduce it to three. So it does affect things, if you will, availability and supply. I'm just saying. But usually, normally, butter goes down closer to the holiday seasons. So I'm taking a wait and see attitude to see what happens during the month of November, which notoriously in the past has been the better month, if not the best month for certain items at the grocery store, the pre Thanksgiving items. All right. So we have to keep an eye on that. Let's talk about heavy duty aluminum foil. Now, some people may not pay attention to it, but heavy duty, good quality. I mean, you could get the regular aluminum foil, and there is a slight difference, but the heavy duty one, you know the difference in an instant, okay? But the heavy duty aluminum foil specifically, and this is good news, it has not changed around here as far as price. It's still about the same. Okay. So I saw it recently on sale for close to there was $6 and change for 50 feet, 50 feet. Not bad. That is not bad, relatively speaking, considering the time that we're in. I also saw it at 30 feet, a 30-foot roll for that must have been a sale in the $2.99 range. So it depends on your habits. Do you monitor those things? How much foil you use a year? How much paper goods? Sit down one day and add it up. You might be surprised and amazed how much we are forking out of our hands. All right, certain brand names of cookies have gone from the sublime to the ridiculous in price. Okay, I personally, I mean, we're all used to the brand names. My dad used to work for the big one years and years ago, back in the day, letter N, and I have fond memories of that. But however, and they are a great quality product. I'm saying they are, of course. However, I've seen similar, not exactly the same, But at the $1.25 store, I have seen similar types of sandwich cookies. I could get those at a fraction of the national name brand. Still works as a dunking cookie, does the same trick. It all depends. Is it exactly like the store one? I mean, the national one that we used to? No. But that slight difference, I'm just not going to pay an extra $2 to $3 more per package. I'm just saying. All right. Let's see. Want to get not so oh, let's talk, yeah, sliced bread. I'm looking at my notes. Sorry about that. When it comes to sliced bread, I'm okay with lowering my standards and trying the simple one, you know. So I saw online, I saw on the Amazon site, there's a sliced bread there. That's the basic one, and I actually gave it a whirl a few weeks ago. It's quite good, and they were running a sale at that time. It was close to $2. Now it jumped up to 2.19. Still not bad. Still not bad. And it doesn't have that horrible extra sweet taste. Why is white bread tasting so sweet? I mean, are they adding some more like sugary product to it? That's to me is ugh, yuck. For me, I don't care for it. But that's just me. So that's just the most inexpensive bread I have ever seen at this time in this, era of time. $2 and $2.19. It went up 20 cents since the last time I saw it. And the last time I saw it was 3 weeks ago. So it jumped 20 cents. But still, and by the way, I wanted to get it. And lo and behold, what did it say on the bottom? Out of stock. Of course, it's out of stock because the average loaf of any sliced bread around these parts is about $3.59. Okay. Then, if you want to get fancy schmancy with those artisan style breads, they are much, much higher in price. Just saying. So, whatever floats, you know. Um, Let me see. It also makes me wonder, am I better off baking my own bread? Who knows that answer? Would you say it's more cost effective to bake your own bread? I would gather, of course, it would have to do with how much bread consumption per week. I would say that my household goes through one loaf of bread a week. And that's a lot. I say that I consider that a lot of bread. One loaf of bread a week because we using it for sandwiches or for toast. I mean, everybody got on the bandwagon of making sandwiches to save money. And I mean, people's habits, okay, people's lifestyle habits in these last few years and specifically lately, these last few weeks have changed quite a bit. Quite a bit. I'm just saying. All right, talking more about the eggs. At this time, a dozen eggs by me is at least 3.59 to $4. All right. And like I said, there are probably supply issues with that. Get creative when you use eggs. Try to find recipes that does not require you to use any eggs in it. That way you can save it for like an actual meal. So if you're just using it for a hidden ingredient, if you could find ways to not use an egg, then don't use it. There are definitely some wonderful videos out there that specifically offer great recipe ideas that omit the eggs that are normally in a recipe. So these are things to consider. Let's talk a minute about instant coffee. Every single year around now, I start looking around for my favorite Happy Belly instant coffee. They offer decaf or a regular. It's good to have at least one with caffeine. Some people may like it as a pick me up, but as a rule for myself, I prefer the decaf because I don't need coffee jitters, that like shaky feeling you get with too much caffeine. No, 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 no. This way I can enjoy my cup of coffee anytime, day or night, and it does not affect me in any way, which is a good thing. But normally, around November, I could get a pretty good deal, like on that, like 2.99 or like 3.29 a jar, which is so cheap because one jar lasts me the whole month. Well, let's think about it. There are 31 days in a month. Let's say I may want 2 cups of coffee per day, one in the morning, one maybe mid-afternoon to give me a little bit of a boost, even though it's decaf. At least I could pretend it's giving me a boost. But yeah, so that sure beats the high prices of going outside for coffee, which we'll talk about that in a minute. And let's see. But I just wanted to say they did go up in price about 50 cents. So I'm taking a wait and see attitude to see what happens in November with that instant coffee. Because in November, I generally like to stock up on that for the next 6 months. I know that I go through one a month. So I buy six at the best price possible in November, and I am good to go with my coffee for 6 months on the cheap. Let's talk a minute about cooking oil. Should I laugh or should I cry? The good news is I personally do not use a lot of cooking oil because I don't fry a lot. If I do, it's shallow frying or one turn of the pan or one capful in, let's say, making a box cake. I am not going to use all the oil that they tell you to use. I use my best judgment. Oil can be expensive and the bottles are shrinking. Thank you, shrinkflation. So keep an eye on that. The olive oils can be from the sublime to the ridiculous, and they're actually blending canola oil with olive oil in some instances. So read the bottle, read the label. If it doesn't matter to you, it doesn't matter to you. I have no problem with canola oil, but I do like to know or think that if I'm paying for so called olive oil, let me know, is it straight up olive oil? Am I paying that higher price for? It's only fair. To me, it's only fair. Paper towel products, well, I do like my paper towel products, but I'm going to start cutting down on my use of it. It's convenient, it's great to have, but some of the paper products are, again, sublime to the ridiculous, and it's kind of like a want more than kind of like a need type of situation. But I do believe when it comes to a car, make sure you keep a couple of rolls of paper towel in a car. Just never ever know in life. Somebody visits, they're drinking a soda, they spill it. You see where I'm going with that. It is always good to keep a couple of rolls of paper towel. And also, baby wipes is a great idea in your car. All right, let's talk about purchasing an investment. What? I'm not talking about a big investment. I'm talking about buying a travel mug. If you haven't done so yet, the chillier weather is here. People tend to want to go to that expensive coffee place and spend their $4 and upward, if not a lot more, for coffee. Get a travel mug. It's an investment. Brew your own coffee at home for pennies on the dollar and make it your own way. Pack it up with you. You still have your hot coffee with you, and it stays hot longer because you got it inside of a good travel mug. That is worth a few extra pennies if you get a good quality travel mug. Literally, it pays for itself. And for those that never add up the price they may be spending day in, day out on outside coffee, it is a pretty penny. The money that a person can save every single month can be applied to this higher grocery bill. Some people are living on groceries through their credit cards. They absolutely have no choice in their life, and they're putting it on their credit card. At least they think there's no choice. There are, of course, choices. Food security is a big thing. Stocking up is a big thing. Cutting back on, wants. We know the drill, but not everyone knows the drill. Not everyone has been taught this. So I don't expect everyone to understand this. But I feel sorrow for people who are using their credit card as their only way, their only means to stretching a food budget. Yeah, people have to eat. They have families. They, got to put the food on the table. This is no joke. So it's just been like a thing lately, like more than ever, unfortunately, and it really, really breaks my heart. So try to find methods that help. All right. So my best tip as a CEO, we are all CEOs of our own wallets, whether we live in an apartment, whether we live in a fancy schmancy big old house, whether we rent a room, whether we're living in a corner of a room or down in the basement in your parents' house, whatever. We all have to lighten the load and be more responsible, in my honest, about our habits with groceries. We have all been affected. I don't know of any one person that has not been affected with the prices of the groceries, and we have to make adjustments. But I can recommend one thing today. If while this is a chilly day around here, I am going to make me a big old pot of soup, and I know that I'm going to freeze up a bunch of it for the future. That is the cheapest thing to do. Get whatever you have in your refrigerator, put it together, season it up, and you got yourself a few nice, warm, hot meals for these chilly days coming up ahead. And that's a great way to start your week. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate everybody's time. And I hope that this actual audio actually comes true. Now, I'm going to press end recording. Hopefully, it will do the right thing. If it doesn't go away, then by all means, just click off. It's not fair for you to sit around waiting for this to click off. Have an amazing, fantastic day, and thank you for being you. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.